Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we'll be looking at my my Game Week 1 and how it went. Glad that the season's back. I think we can definitely say that. So make sure to check out social media, Captain FPL 1, and please subscribe as well. We're growing nicely. I'll keep the videos coming out as well. So today we're going to be looking at my Game Week 1 team and also previewing the Game Week 2 team because it's fairly straightforward. So let's get into it. And first of all, let's look at the points from last week. So we started off with Nick Pope in goal, got a solid 8 points, and I have to say I was very surprised with that. I did think that it might have been a clean sheet wipeout for both sides in this game, but Nick Pope did well, got save points as well and a bonus point, so he's showing his the class of 17-18 season where he was an absolute animal. So I'm glad I got him in instead of Heaton, because Heaton in the end didn't get the clean sheet, so it was a good decision by me. And we're coming onto the defence, where it wasn't great, I'll be honest. I think there was a lot of clean sheets. There was, I think, 9 clean sheets this week, and I only got 1 of them in my team, which is a bit of a shame. Robertson, 2 points. Obviously, Liverpool didn't hit the clean sheet, and he didn't get any attacking returns, but I'm not too bothered about him because Mane, he came off the bench in the game and should be coming back into the side, so Robertson will be able to get forward. Origi, he didn't play the game very well, and I was watching it with my uncle, and he's a Liverpool fan. He says, look, Origi doesn't track back, so Robertson had to do a lot of the work by himself, and he had to stay back, but his heat map looked good. He would still get up and down that left hand side. Holebas, Watford looked woeful defensively, and I think I made a big error choosing Holebas, and I think he's definitely going to see a place on my bench next week when Everton play Watford. Luka Dean, nice 6 points, and he did look exciting, getting lots of crosses into the box. Both him and Coleman looks exciting. Obviously Everton, they're not looking like they're going to score many goals at the moment, but Palace did set up to not let them do that. So I think there's a positive to take. Only worry, Morgan Schneiderlin did get sent off, so may reduce the clean sheet potential for the next game, but they're playing Watford, and Watford didn't look great last game. Walker-Peters, again, unlucky to not have the clean sheet. Villa really only had 2 attacks, and they scored with one of them early on, but Walker-Peters looked good. Again, whether I'm going to start him next week is another matter. I don't think I will. I think he's probably going to be sitting on the bench again because City, they sort of tear them apart, West Ham, so I'm a bit worried at the moment. Midfield, Salah and Sterling doing the business. A bit of a shame, I think, captain Sterling over Salah, but I thought, Liverpool versus Norwich is going to be a banker, and yeah, Salah got 12 points, goal and assist, can't really go wrong with that, and Sterling got a hat-trick. He could have even had 4 goals, could have had another assist. There was a multitude of points for him, obviously VAR stopped that. Disappointment with Perez and Fraser. Fraser picked up a yellow card, and although he had a couple of free kicks, a couple of set pieces, Bournemouth weren't exciting overall, to be honest. But I think that's going to change. That they're going to play Villa. Sheffield United are a difficult team to break down. So, and they just started the Premier League season, so they're looking to have a good start. So I'm going to hold on for Fraser, definitely at least for one more game week, and if not, take him out, which I will show him on the watch list later on in the video of some alternatives I've been looking at. Ozzy Perez, Wolves again, they shut Leicester down. Perez didn't have a single shot in the game, lost possession 21 times. He didn't have a good game, but he did get the clean sheet points. At least he got 3 and not 2. But again, playing Chelsea next week, we saw United beat Chelsea 4-0, and Chelsea were leaving lots of gaps. This could suit Perez and Vardy's game, so again, I'm not too worried about them. Vardy got 2. It's a similar situation to Perez. He didn't have a shot, I think, on target until the 82nd minute, so again, it wasn't brilliant. Callum Wilson picked up the assist. I was quite lucky with that, just from a corner scrapping, where he managed to have the shot at the keeper, and it was put away by Mepham. On the bench, nothing to really talk about apart from Lundstram, who got a bonus point. It's quite interesting, so he's been playing in my thoughts. Then Donker looks very attacking and getting forward. He had a goal disallowed as well, so again, he's playing to my thought. Greenwood came off the bench. He got a point, and he had a shot as well, so again, it's exciting stuff. So yeah, my points, I've got 74 points this game, which was above the average of 65, with an overall rank of 1.6 million. Again, people might think, well, that wasn't brilliant. There's lots of people scoring highly, but I'm not too worried. Lots of people obviously played their chips in the first week, so I'm not too fast. I think that's 74 points. At least it's above the average, and we can get going forward. Remember, there's over 5 million players in this game, so I think it was a good start overall. So we come to the watch list, and I've got 5 players that I'm looking at for the next game week. Now the plan for me is going to roll the transfer, so I have 2 free transfers in the following game week. But these are 5 players we're looking at. Lanzini. Now, I was very interested with the West Ham midfield before the season began, purely because they had a lot of attacking potential, and I basically wanted to give them 2 games to work out who would be the best man to have. Now, I had my eye on before the City game, Lanzini, Felipe Anderson. Felipe Anderson went off with an injury. Now, it's not meant to be that serious, but I think Lanzini could be the better bet. He's on set pieces as well, free kicks, with Snodgrass not on the pitch. And, the fixtures are very nice for West Ham. I've only included 3 fixtures because I'm only building for the short term till game week 4, where I will wildcard. But I think, I'm going to give West Ham one more game week to see how they do against Brighton and see if any of their attacking assets look exciting. And potentially Lanzini may come in for Ryan Fraser. That is the plan. Ryan Fraser is the man who is on the edge of the team at the moment, just because of his poor performance in game week 1 and also with City in game week 3. I'm not feeling confident owning him. I think I'm happy with having Wilson because he's a striker, but I don't feel happy with having Lanzini. Although, if I was to get rid of both the Bournemouth assets, then Wilson and Fraser would go. This leads me on to Marcus Rashford, who looked brilliant against Chelsea. He got 2 goals. He was on penalties as well. Now, I think before we get excited about that, Pogba usually is a penalty taker, but I think because Rashford won the penalty, he wanted to take it, which is fair enough. But he looked very exciting, very quick as well. The Wolves game, I'm not going to be tempted to get a rash transfer in for them because I feel Wolves again are going to set up very strongly. They'll be playing the second leg of the European tie, which they've already wrapped up nicely. So I have a feeling that they will set up quite strongly to get a solid clean sheet potentially. So I'm more interested in looking at the Palace fixture to bring him in for, because Palace don't look brilliant at the moment. Against Everton they just set up very defensively, but it could be United's time to shine, especially with the speed of their attack to break them down. And the same with Martial, 7.5 million playing in the number 9 role as well, out of position. Him and Rashford seem to interchange. So again, these 2 I'm going to keep an eye on for the next game, just see how they're looking at against Wolves. I don't expect them to return against Wolves, and I hope they don't before I get them in, but they look like good options. Harry Kane, another player who it's been a lot of drafts. Obviously, if either had 2 premiums, I think to fit 3 premiums in does ruin the balance, but it can be done. But again, I feel like he's going to be someone I'm going to bring on my wild card. City away in the next game is not a nice fixture, because especially the way that City shut themselves down at the back against the bigger sides, and they can attack going forward. So I feel like he won't score against them. But the Newcastle home game looks a very good fixture, which he could definitely score in, and I feel worried I wasn't owning him. And Arsenal away again. Arsenal aren't the best defensively, and Harry Kane loves a North London derby, so could easily get goals there. And then lastly, Zinchenko. Again, some nice fixtures, and I didn't go with a City defender at the start of the season because of the uncertainty in the defence. I think Laporte was the only nailed-on player, and I couldn't afford him. And with the Pep's comments about Cancelo and Fernandinho, it put Stones and Zinchenko at risk, who were the 2 I was looking at. But Walker played well, I think better than Zinchenko, but I'm going to be watching Zinchenko and Stones in the next couple of games to work out if I want to have one of them, which I will likely bring in maybe for game week 4. I'm not really sure yet, if not on my wild card. But City did look very good against West Ham. They shut West Ham down. So those are all thoughts, but again, we've got time to work out who is the best option for my team. So this brings me on to my Game Week 2 side, and it's pretty straightforward, but there's been a couple of position and player changes, so I'll let you know this. We've got Pope in goal against Arsenal away. I'm not expecting Burnley to keep a clean sheet in this, because Arsenal were much better at home than they were away. But I think, save points are definitely on the cards, but you never know. Burnley might just shut Arsenal down completely. Arsenal struggled against Newcastle. I think Aubameyang was really the only person that had luck because of the lack of creativity they have in that midfield. But hey, with Pepe coming into the side potentially, especially because he was on the bench and Lacazette are back on the bench, they could definitely tear Burnley apart. So I'm not going to be crossing my fingers, because I think Burnley will concede. At the back, a solid defence, but interestingly, Lundstram comes into the side. I think Sheffield United at home to Crystal Palace, it could be a clean sheet on the cards there, because Palace don't look like they're going to be scoring goals. Zaha did look much better when he came on and revitalised the side, but I feel like Sheffield United could maybe keep it to 1 goal. But I feel like my alternatives are Holebas and Walker-Peters. They could let in goals, so I'm not I'm not trusting them to keep a clean sheet over Lundstram. So I'm going to go with Lundstram. I'm going to trust the 4 million god that he is. Luca Dean, Watford at home. Watford looked awful in the last game. And so I think Luca Dean could definitely get a clean sheet there. Hopefully, I'm praying he does. Robertson, Southampton away. Southampton looked awful. They conceded 3 goals to Burnley. Lots of shots were at them. And I think with Mane back inside, Robertson can definitely deal some damage. Midfield, then Donker comes into the team. I didn't think I was going to be playing him, but the way that he looked against Leicester, bear in mind that was a very close game. He could do well against United. I think there might be a bit more space for him to work with. Although again, I'm not expecting him to score any goals, but he's a better alternative to my 2 defenders, who I just don't trust to get any points. He'll definitely get 2 points, which is more than I think Hollebass and Walker Peters will get. Salah, I don't have to say anything about him. I think Southampton away is a good fixture. I was worried again in pre-season, but I think Southampton don't look brilliant, so he could definitely score some goals. Jose Perez, I'm going to stick with him for another week. I think Leicester got good fixtures after this. I think Chelsea, again, they showed they're not defensively solid at the back, so Perez and Vardy could both had a field day against them. Ryan Fraser, this is his last chance for him, and whether he can get an assist or a goal is another matter. But I think he is he should be okay for this game. I think Aston Villa, they're not solid. They did well against Tottenham, but they'll be more open this time around. And Raheem Sterling, I think, although he's playing Tottenham, he could definitely score goals. I don't think Tottenham are going to win this. I think that Sterling should do well, and he tends to do well against Tottenham. I think he has 7 goals and 3 assists in his last couple of games against them. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. And then Vardy and Wilson are the 2 up front, and Vardy, the same applies for him for Perez. I think Chelsea will going to leave lots of gaps with a young defence, and Vardy can get onto them. And Wilson, like Fraser, I think Villa will leave some gaps, and hopefully Wilson can get on it. Interestingly, last season he did better away from home than he did at home, so perhaps he will do better. And the captaincy, it comes down to Salah. I think Salah is the safe bet again. Although Sterling, I think, could definitely score against Tottenham, I think Liverpool may have a field day against Southampton. And if there's one man who's going to get the goals, it's going to be Mo Salah. So the bench, again, as you see, we've got playing people, which is good. Hollebass, Walker Peters will definitely be playing, I think. Although Aurier may come in for Tottenham, but I think Walker Peters will be alright. And yeah, Hollebass, Everton away. You never know. Watford might get the clean sheet, Everton might not, or neither will get it. But I just think that Luca Dean and Everton seem a bit more solid than Watford. Watford looks very disorganised, so hopefully I'm not going to be kicking myself on that decision. But yeah, thanks for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe, like, all that good stuff, and check out my Twitter and also the league code to join the league. And yeah, bring on Game Week 2. It's only just begun, so I'll catch you in the next one.